Hello, today I'm going to be showing how to use a sensor. Now, a sensor is a part for seeing what's in front of it, basically. It senses stuff. Now, it uses ray tracing to do this. What ray tracing is, I don't really know. I just know that it goes fast, that it goes straight. But do you really need to know much more? Well, at least not for this, you don't. So, to get a sensor working, you need a button to signal it, or anything else that does a signal, just a direct signal, not a polysilicon signal. And you need the output polysilicon. Now, this would output the name of the object in front of it, that being concrete. However, we don't have a signal wire, we need that too. Or anything else that it could get a signal to. So, as you can see here, it is signaling to a signal wire. What we can do now is put a CMOS, if you want. Actually, let's get to the CMOS later. First, we should put a monitor. What you see from that is that it's concrete. Or say, who owns the part? That would be the 6. Lucas. As you can see, yes, Lucas owns the concrete. Now, what you could do with this is have a CMOS and check if it's what you want it to be in a computer, basically. Very basic image recognition, you could even argue. That doesn't really make any sense, but who cares? So, just for the current CMOS, or the basic CMOS configuration here, this would work. Just say it goes in here, goes out there. You could also put a door or polysilicon on it. That's the same thing. So equals, that would be if something equals something, and then we divide it with a semicolon. Is that a semicolon? I don't know. Doesn't matter. And then direct signal would be E, and then the first part of the direct signal, so that would be concrete. If you have something like position, you would get in X, Y, and Z. So E1 would be X, E2 would be Y, and E3 would be Z. However, we're not dealing with that now, so you can figure that one out yourself. Or in a later tutorial if I am making one on that. Let's see. But as of now, well, actually no, let's not put this here. Let's put it to concrete. And now, there's concrete. Sorry. Now, if there's concrete, it will signal to here. If we put a piece of plastic, in front of it, you'd get plastic, but it wouldn't go through here. As you can see, the signal wire is not lighting up. There's nothing here. Now, what you could do with this, in theory, is make a door. Or something. So, you could first, you have to check for, of course you get a name thing. You can check who is in front of the sensor. So we spin it right. In this case, you could put your own username, it doesn't really matter. And then, there you go. Now, if I am standing in front of here, it will go through. If not, well, it won't. You see, goes through, doesn't go through. What you can do with this, for example, is make a door that only opens if you're standing in front of a sensor and pressing the button. So, there. Just need to do that, and then, well, if there's not me in front of it, it doesn't open, and if I'm in front of it, it opens. See? Yep. closes. I'd advise to put the seeker a bit higher. Sorry, the sensor a bit higher. Okay, that might be a bit too much. Somewhere like body height. Because the torso is just easier to get than the legs for some reason. Just the hitbox, I guess. So it's just. Oh. So. There's that. You can also increase the range of a sensor by making it longer. Now it's see from further. See wood somewhere. This cannot see the wood. As you can see, nil. If it does nil, it's out of range or just can't do a signal for some reason. There you go. And that's about it. I would make it gosh, sorry, my stutter is acting up a bit. But I think I should have. Whatever, it doesn't matter. None of your business. So I could make a tutorial on how to put this in a turret, but that would be a bit more advanced, and I cannot fit it into this video without making it just difficult and long. So. But if you want to figure that out for yourself, just, well, do it. I mean, you can basically just put this on a well, it's actually, yes, a secret turret, and then figure out what it's looking at with this. But that's another thing. You can do that yourself. Or in an upcoming tutorial, if I do make one on turrets. Stay tuned to find out, I guess. May or may not make it. I'm lazy. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I don't really have anything else to say though. Bye.